Hi, boys. Welcome back to another episode of the Fellowship of the Fleek Fantasy Football Podcast. Today, I'm joined by none other than my little brother, Prem.
Yo,
What's up, bro?
how's it going, man?
Good. So, for your episode, maybe a cruel joke, but we're going to be discussing fantasy punishments. So,
Fair enough.
sadly, you were the one that lost last year, but I mean, technically, you didn't lose the whole league. You were just in last place for the bachelor party, so that was when we did the punishment for last year.
About
Um,
that time, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So this year will be a lot more normal where it won't, we'll wait till the very end and then that's when we decide kind of the last place punishment. But the idea that I had, and I want to get your thoughts on it, is instead of doing just a last place, what I
yeah.
was thinking of doing was like punishments for 8th, ninth, and 10th. But like
Okay,
as you get worse, the punishment gets worse.
I like that idea. I think that's cool. That's a fun
And
idea. Yeah,
And the reason that I'm thinking about doing that is because right now, like if once you get knocked out of the playoffs, you're basically just trying to not get last place. And
yeah.
like once you know that you can't get last place, then you're kind of just out of the league at that point, right? Because you know you can't win, and then you know that you can't get last, and that's all you're
You
really
get
worried
lost.
about.
You're
And so my
content.
my thoughts of implementing something like this are to help kind of combat that, to keep people really focused on the league until the very very end. Now the thing
I
is,
like
like,
that.
we have to we have to still come up with what we want the punishments to be, but in my mind, like, the eighth place punishment should be something like really minimal, like something that like wouldn't even really suck that bad. Honestly, it's just more of like an
Yeah,
inconvenience or like something annoying. And then something that the
yeah.
10th is like kind of what you had to do, like something really embarrassing that like you're really not gonna want
Okay,
to do. Yeah.
okay. All right. I've got some thoughts on that. I could probably spill. I'm gonna be
Maybe
honest with you, bro.
maybe
Like,
first talk about how you felt losing and having to do the punishment.
um, well, I guess that's kind of what I was gonna talk about. For my first ever fantasy league, like it, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. Like, obviously, like nobody likes to lose, but it wasn't super awful. And the punishment itself, I was gonna say just now, is like real talk. It was bad, but like I think that could be an eighth place punishment. Real talk,
No,
because
no,
I didn't
no,
have
no,
to
no.
post it. I didn't have to post it. I Nobody had to see that except y'all. You know what I mean? Like real talk, it wasn't that bad. But like but losing itself, like nobody likes to lose, least of all me. So obviously, it makes me want to come harder this year. But it was also my first time doing it, so I'm gonna give myself some grace. Like there's a lot of nuances to that whole thing I didn't know about till I was in it already. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
It wasn't the worst thing in the world.
So, I mean, that's funny that you say that. I would say I don't know if the rest of the group would agree with you on that being suitable for an eighth place. I was thinking something like an eighth place punishment to me, I feel like is, having to go in public with like some kind of like embarrassing shirt or something, like wear a shirt that's like someone else like picked out for you. That at the same time isn't something crazy like that's gonna get like gonna get you in trouble or get you like on the internet, but like I don't know, something like kind of funny, but like kind of inappropriate, but not too bad. Like that's just kind of
I
like a
get that.
yeah, that's just kind of something I had in my mind, or maybe like you have to record yourself like doing a beer mile. Let's say to like drink a beer and then run a mile or something. Like it's not that hard. Like all of us can do it. It's just like,
Yeah.
do we really want to have to do that? And then
No.
there's something like the 10th place punishment. I've seen this, like it's been, it's like a really popular viral fantasy league punishment, but like the Waffle House challenge is something I've always thought would be really
Heard of
funny
that
to
one.
do. Um,
That'd be funny. Yeah.
and so like that, you see, that's the difference of scale that I'm talking, right? Like, um,
Okay.
the problem is like you can't really like we have to finalize the punishments before the league starts because you can't be once the league has started, like you can't then be starting to talk about, okay, well, what are we gonna do about last? It's just like that all stuff
No.
needs to be ironed out at the very beginning, and then the year happens, and then whatever happens happens. So that's the problem is we have to iron out what we want these punishments to be and what the structure to look like. But I think right now I'm targeting to have the final. I'm gonna call this the final poll, but I guess maybe it won't be the final poll. But I want to have that final poll done a week before um, the league starts.
Yeah,
And actually no, because it'll be the week before the draft starts. So I think we will have enough time. So we'll have we'll have that poll done a week before the draft, and then that's a week until the draft, and then I think we have another week until fantasy actually starts. So the punishment one, I feel like we can finalize that closer to like right before everything starts, but so that gives us maybe a couple weeks to figure that all out. But if we're struggling to find like three punishments that are very clearly like this one is the worst one, and then this one is not as bad, and this one's not as bad. If that's too
yeah,
hard, then we'll just keep it simple and do like one last place punishment because I don't want things to get too kind of confusing, and then people are just like, man, what the hell is this? Like, three people getting punished, like
it
kind of
would
bullshit.
take.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking about right now, and I guess I'm gonna be asking you guys, do you want to do this? So I guess let me describe it a little bit more in depth. I kind of went over it a little fast, but the idea is like eighth, ninth, and tenth all get punished, right? So between 9 and 10, you're kind of fighting for the lesser of the two punishments, and maybe we can do it to where like ninth place gets to choose the punishment they want, because for some reason maybe they might feel like this one's worse than that one. But I want them to be structured in a way that it's like objectively this
very
one is
hard
not
to
as bad
see.
as this one, yeah. But maybe something like ninth place gets to pick the punishment, so then
I
tenth
think
gets the
that would
worst
be
one.
a little excessive. I think the having ninth place pick, because if you're doing it right, then tenth and ninth will have such a clear difference that ninth will
I
will
agree.
definitely be. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
yeah,
if you add the implement of choosing, it's gonna make it worse.
okay, yeah. I don't disagree, but and then one other thing I was thinking of, like, so right now, like first, second, and third are um first, second, third get money, right? So that means the first and second place match, they have skin in the game to win, right? And then
Yeah,
third and fourth, they're fighting for third, which is also money, so they got skin in the game. And right now, the
sure.
fifth and the sixth place match, there's no weight on that match at all, because whether you get fifth or where you get sixth doesn't affect anything. So what I was
Right.
thinking was, if you win the fifth, sixth place match, maybe you would get to influence the punishment in some kind of way. And I'm still kind of figuring out like what that would be, right? So like, kind of in that example I had in my head earlier of someone having to wear like a shirt, I was like, well, what if the fifth place winner is the one who gets to pick the shirt? So that kind of
I
gives
like that.
you that
Yeah, I
gives
like
you an
that.
incentive to win that match, right? Otherwise, like I said, right, if it's going into the last week of playoffs, or the second, I guess it would be the second to last week of playoffs, and you're in that fifth or sixth
Yeah.
place match, you have no reason to try to win because you
No,
can't win money, but you're also not gonna get last place or even eighth at that point. So
you
then
just
you're
let
just
it
like
happen
you're
pretty
just doing
much.
you're just not doing anything. So I feel like that would give a reason for people to still care until the very end. Um,
I think so too.
yeah, so I guess the thing that I have to do now is I need everyone's help to come up with like three distinct, clearly different levels of punishment for those three. Well, and if they want to even do that.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I've got like 20 10th place punishments in mind right now
Yeah,
off
but
the top of
yours
my
was
head.
like all of yours, everyone was just like absolutely not.
That's the point of it being 10th place. And like, if we're going by last time, that'd still be me doing them. So everyone
Yeah.
should be a little more inclined. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of the group is not going to be down to do some of your ideas. I can tell you that right now. But yeah, we need to hear them and for sure put them out there. But I think
I mean,
first we need to figure
yeah.
out if they're even down to do this. If we're just gonna have one last place, I vote Waffle House challenge 'cause I think it'd be funny as hell.
You vote the Waffle House one?
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken, that's the one where you go there and you just have to keep eating, right?
you have to stay in a Waffle House for 24 hours, and then every waffle you eat while you're there, you subtract an hour.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I could do that. Like straight up. I think I could do that.
Well, yeah, I'm not surprised. You think you could do everything?
But that, dude, like that's just eating. That's
So you
my
think you would
shit.
sit down and eat 24 waffles? How many hours do you think you get out? That's the real question.
How many hours could I get out of it? You mean
No, like
like
how many like if you sat down at 5 p.m. or let's make it easy. Let's say it's a morning, so you're on an empty stomach. Let's say you show
okay,
up at 10 a.m. What
10
time do you
a.m.
think you're walking out of Waffle House?
24 waffles?
Yeah, how basic? Well, no, I mean you don't have to eat 24 because every hour, like let's say like to just make the math easy, right? Let's say 12 hours goes by, and over the course
Okay,
of those 12 hours you ate 12 waffles, then you would get to
yeah.
leave because that's 24 hours.
All right. If I go up at 10 a.m., I mean, dude, probably like 2:30, 2:30. I get out by 2:30. I
So at
put down
2:30,
20.
so you said we said 10, 11, 12, 1. So in four hours, you think you would eat 20 waffles?
I believe so.
You know how big the waffles are there?
Like somewhat. They're like kind of like dinner plate size, right? Like
Yeah.
this big.
I think a little bit bigger than that. Yeah.
A
Okay.
little bit bigger, bro. I swear they're like this big, like
No,
that big.
no, they're pretty big. Yeah. Yeah, I think they're like that big.
Hold on, I need to look this up. Can you look? You're streaming. Look this up for
No,
me.
no, no.
Pull this
No,
up.
I can't mess with the stream right now.
Hold on. Waffle House waffle size. Damn, these bitches big as hell. Oh, I don't know about no 4 hours though. That actually might take me longer. These are huge.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it might take me like 4 hours and 10 minutes. Look, key.
Okay, well, I don't know where you're getting 10 minutes from because you don't get partial.
I'm trolling. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It would take me way longer.
Yeah,
I'm just fucking with you.
yeah,
That took me like 8 hours, bro, to take down 20 of those.
yeah,
That took me a minute.
yeah. There's also like this one's funny, but a lot of people like to meme around the 999 challenge, which do you know what that is?
I don't think I do. No, what is that?
So basically, you have to go to a baseball game, and baseball games last 9 innings.
Yeah.
So in 9 innings, you gotta drink a beer and eat a hot dog for every inning.
The beer part would be easy. I feel like the hot dog's the hard part there. 9 hot dogs is crazy.
I mean, I think 9 hot dogs is harder than 9 beers, but 9 beers is also really hard.
Yeah. They're both difficult, but
Yeah.
9 francs is crazy.
Yeah, and like the
Who's
problem
giving
is like
out hot
something
dogs?
like that you can't. It's hard to make into a fantasy football challenge because it's like no one. First of all, it's almost impossible to actually complete it, and then second of
Yeah.
all, like
That's a lot of money.
people are just gonna tap out at some point. Like you don't want something where people can tap out. Like they have to. There has to be
Yeah.
something where like they have to do it until the end, and like some other
Yeah,
funny
no.
ones are like you gotta like sign up for the SAT and like go take it. Like that's really
No, it
funny.
is fun. I
Um,
like the one. This one's crazy, and nobody would do this, myself included. But there's this one where it's like you get a headlamp, and you're in a dark room. You have to finish a 1,000 piece jigsaw puzzle by yourself. You don't get to leave the room till it's done, but you only
yeah.
have like a headlamp. That
Uh,
shit's insane. I think it's funny, but that's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know. We got to figure it out, and then we got to figure out like three distinct, levels of intensity.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I think that's good enough for that. We're starting to run low on time, so I want to get over and switch to catching up with the fellowship. So I got your slide up here, and I'm gonna go ahead and click, and we'll talk about what happened in your life from January to August.
sure. So the most important thing here is, as all you who saw me during last year would know, my hair is significantly shorter because not much happened January, not much happened February, but then March, my brother got married. So my big sister pulled me over and she, like, in a very subtle way, told me my hair was greasy and disgusting, and that for a wedding, that's really like pushing it. So she convinced me to get a haircut, and I got a haircut, and that was the biggest change for the beginning of the year, and it was cool. It was awesome. I like it, as you can see. That was a big change. Not much happened within these 6 months for me.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good look, so I think it was definitely a good move that you got your haircut.
I agree.
Yep. All right.
Good. Those are me and five of my friends. We went on a group trip to Austin. We did a little road trip. We went there for a week. We had an Airbnb for ourselves. It was a lot of fun. That was probably the most fun thing I did all summer. Um, it was really cool. It was one of the best experiences of my life. I've been friends with these guys for basically all of high school, and a lot of them are like doing different things and in different states for college. But it was really cool that we could all still make this work. You know, it low key. I did kind of just steal your bachelor party and make it like a trip, but it worked out. It was fun. I enjoyed it. They all enjoyed it. I like my friends. They're cool.
What makes you
So
say
that
that?
was a lot of fun.
What did you steal?
Dude, we went to an Airbnb in Austin, and we all got really drunk. We just didn't do paintball. That was the only difference. That was
Did
it.
you play Halo?
We did. We played a lot of Smash. So one
Okay.
out of two. We played a lot of Smash. That
Okay.
was a lot of fun. We spent a lot of. We went hiking the last day, which is where this picture was taken. All of us were sweaty and gross. The first day, we kind of just chilled there, like drank pretty much. Basically, the same itinerary as your bachelor party. The first night, we got really fucking drunk, and the second night, we were hanging out in the city, and all of us
You
were
better hope
hungover in
mom
the
and dad aren't
morning.
watching this.
They're not.
Okay,
You better,
cool.
you better slow down. You better slow down with that shit.
I'm just saying. I mean, this goes online.
None of that. None of that, buddy. Slow
Okay.
down. Slow down. Slow your roll. But it was a cool trip. I enjoyed it. That was the most fun I had in the summer, for
Nice.
sure.
Bro, you look like a grown man in this picture. It's crazy.
It's the sun, dude.
No, it's the beard. I think it's the beard.
Probably. My beard got really thick out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and I really like it. Like, I think it looks nice. I like it. I'm happy with it. But it does make me look a little older. On this trip, I was not ID'd a single time.
Yeah.
I feel like I should mention that.
Yeah. I think that's, kind of
Mom,
lines
if you're
with what I'm
watching this,
saying.
that's not true. If you're watching this is all just to make these guys laugh. None of
Yeah.
that happened. We
Yeah.
studied the Bible the whole 4 days.
Yeah.
It was
Good.
beautiful.
Good look. Anything else from that trip that stood out, or?
Um, no, not really. It was just a lot of fun. It was just a cool experience overall.
Cool.
Nothing like out of the blue, you know.
All right. And then.
So from I was telling Anna earlier, from the bachelor party, I was asked where I was going to go to school, what I was going to do for school, and I had to tell like 10 different people of your friends that I had no fucking idea. And then at the wedding, it was the same thing. I was like, I don't know. Stop asking me. And even before that, you know, Anna was asking me, and Mason was asking me, and Akka and Vicky, and everybody wants to know. I didn't figure it out until about a month ago when I finally sat down and started looking at schools. And I looked into UNT, and I really liked the student life. I liked their not sound like a dork. I like their library. I like the way their program looks. I like that the campus is 5 hours away from my house. I like the campus. It just seemed like a cool school, and I think I started to like the idea of going there. Did more research, and I started to realize that's where I want to go. So, finally, to answer everything for you guys, I know where I want to go to school. It's at UNT.
Nice. And you went
Finally,
and checked it out in person too, right?
I'm going to be, yeah, in November.
Oh no. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
they have like a campus meet thing, and if you go there when you apply in November, they waive the fee, the application fee, so you can just do it for free.
Oh,
Also,
nice.
so my plan is to go there, talk to some people, and then finally just put my application in, and then not have to pay the fee, and then go back whenever I go back.
Well, that'll be an exciting transition, and I'm excited for you when that happens. Do you know if you want to live in a dorm or if you're gonna live off campus? If you know
My buddy
people,
Zach,
yeah.
my buddy Zach is also going there for this 2026 thing, so we were talking about maybe us two getting an apartment together, because it would be pretty, like it'd be cheaper than staying on campus. Um, but that's kind of up in the air right now. I don't really know specifically. I mean, I was probably going to ask you about this later,
Mhm.
like when we hang out. So I don't really know, but I'm talking to about maybe like rooming with some friends, maybe
Yep.
at an apartment.
Cool.
That's kind of where I'm at. That's all I got with
Yeah.
that, though.
Yeah. When we get closer, for sure, you can ask me and honestly everyone else in the league too, for
Yeah, I'll be
advice.
sure to ask everybody. I know everyone's got good advice.
Yep. All right.
I started cutting finally for the first time since I started training. I started cutting, and it was in June, and it's been going really, really well. And like I didn't even notice, dude. I didn't even notice how good it was going until I looked in the mirror. I was like, holy shit! I look like fucking Spider Man. I look like a superhero. As you said, I look like a fucking superhero. I didn't even notice, man. It was so cool. But
I
the
think your
reason
arms
I
are too
chose that
big to be Spider-Man, bro.
That's Venom, bro.
Yeah.
It was like, dude, it was like, but the reason I decided this to be something to talk about is because for one, a lot of y'all, like the fellowship, was talking to me about lifting weights and stuff. It was really cool. A lot of you guys have a lot of different information and stuff. But one of the things that you and me, share is like lifting weights and training. And it was like for a long time you were like, dude, I think you're big enough to cut. I think, and I would just like tell you like, nah, man, not yet, not yet, not yet. And I don't know, man. I think you were right. I think I should have done this earlier because I'm noticing like a lot, like wherever I plateaued at, I'm kind of like starting to inch back up. I think I'm just cutting off some excess fat, working out for me,
Nice.
and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I'm pretty proud of the progress I've made, especially because it's the first cut I've ever done.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing that happened for me physically, I guess, during the last 6 months.
Where did you start your cut out, and where are you at right now, weight wise?
I started my cut in June 1st at 175 ish, like 175. As of right now, I'm sitting at 164.
That's good. And that's
Yeah,
too, like, that's a good like rate of losing weight. Like, 'cause you don't, if you lose weight too fast, you're definitely
yeah,
losing muscle. And like, I would say 10 pounds in 2 months is like the right speed. So you're doing exactly what you need to be doing.
that's
Based on
good.
Yeah, based on like how much leaner you look, and after 10 pounds down, do you have an idea of how many more pounds you want to lose? It's never about the number of pounds, but it's about the look. But like, if you were to
Yeah,
estimate
I
how many
feel you.
pounds, what do you think it would be?
I'm probably gonna cut down 4 more pounds because so far, like my squat hasn't gone down at all. I recently hit 315 for 4 reps on back squat,
Nice. That's
which
crazy.
was a really big goal for me was to hit 3 plates for reps. 4 reps is shaky just because I am losing weight steadily. So I'll probably put down 4 more pounds. And if my numbers are still around the same range, like 315 for 4 to 6, I'll probably stay at 160 and then just kind of maintain like
Yeah.
160 for a while before I bulk up again
Yep.
to try and push my numbers up a little bit.
That's how it goes, man.
160. Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, man. We'll do.
And this is the perfect time. It's summer.
True. Yeah. This is the perfect time.
Yeah, I would say actually maybe like for if you want to cut again in the future, maybe instead of starting in June, maybe start in like March, April.
Yeah, probably because
Yeah.
like
Then you're ready to hit
I
hit it
started in
right
June.
when
It's a little
summer.
late. It's a little late. Just a
Yeah, it's a
little bit
little
late.
late. Yeah.
Tad bit. Yeah, I'll probably remember that for next time if I do. But I might push my bulk. I remember when I started, I kind of bulked really stupidly, and you actually told me this when I started, and I didn't fully listen. But dude, I dirty bulked like crazy when I started.
I
It was
mean,
so bad. I was eating
for some
anything. I was eating anything and everything.
for someone
What's
like
that?
you who has a fast metabolism, I feel like dirty bulking is not as bad as someone like me who doesn't have a fast metabolism.
That's true.
So it probably, if anyone, is, it would be better for them to do it. It probably would be you. And obviously, dirty bulking is a lot of fun. So
It was a lot of fun, but it's like I want to see what I can do if I were to just lean bulk like properly. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I mean, I would also
But
say like you definitely can't dirty bulk forever. So enjoy it while you can is what I would say, honestly.
I'll be sure to remember that. Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
yeah.
All right. Well,
That's all I
I'll
got.
go ahead and get into mine. So I'm gonna cover
That's
my
it.
June, and I don't have a ton of pictures, but I got two pictures from the same day. I actually was looking through my camera, and I literally only had like 10 pictures, and like half of those are like random screenshots and not like things that actually happened. So June was just a really slow month for me. But Vicky, so this is a McCarthy project that's like a mile from our house, and
Okay.
we drive by it almost every day. And Vicky was at one point, she was finally like, I want to check out the building, before they open. So I hit up, my teammates on the project and was like, hey, could we go check out the site sometime? And they were like, yeah, sure. So we checked it out in June, and Nathan's actually in this picture right here, so you can see this guy.
Oh yeah, there he
Yeah, so
is.
there's Nathan, and then that's actually Nathan's wife, and then Jillian, that's one of our other coworkers that we're friends with, and this is Val's another coworker we're friends with who was the one on the project that gave us a tour. So it was super cool to
Oh,
see
yeah.
it. It's a religious cultural building for the Ismaili religion. It's like a subset of Islam, and
I've heard of them. Yeah, I know
yeah,
about them. Read about them.
and yeah, it was really cool. Makes me miss construction a little bit, but not that much to go back into it. Yeah.
A pretty building, dude.
Yep. And then this is from a wedding. We had a lot of weddings this year, including our own. So, this was a wedding
Yep.
of our friends Zara and Zame. This was the day. This is like their holy. So the day before their like main wedding, and this was just a picture that I got on my phone, of us. So yeah, it was a fun time. It was like an hour southwest. Like basically just we went on 59 and we stayed on there for like a legit hour, and it was like way
Damn,
out.
dude.
Yeah, it was way out there, but it was in like this really cool like orchard area, and like you can see all these trees in the back, and they're
It
all like
looks
on
pretty.
perfect like rows. So it was like really cool when you can't see it that well in the picture, but everything was like really symmetrical and like really well organized, and it was really pretty.
Yeah, I believe it. It looks really nice.
Yeah. And then this was literally me hunting for pictures. So in June we had some more AC issues, so that was really bad. And this was a random picture I took of the air conditioning unit, just during the situation. So like, that's not even my arm. That's like the AC guy's arm that's in it. He's trying to show me something, but um, yeah, it's cool. I mean, as not a homeowner yet, but renting a house, it's kind of good experience to kind of learn the ins and outs of having a home, and
Yep.
things you got to look out for and things you got to kind of know and understand for when you eventually have your own house. So, I mean,
Oh,
it wasn't a great experience, but it's a good learning experience, I would say.
I feel
Um,
you.
yeah. So the
That's
issue,
kind of.
yeah, the issue ended up being that like so I don't know how much you know about ACs, but um, there's this is in the attic. This is I don't know what all the terms are, but like this is where the air gets like pushed around the house. So like the cold air is in there, and these ducts like push it into the rest of the house. And then
Yep.
outside you have like the outside unit, and that's what removes the heat from the air. And that's like that thing with the big fan on it. So both of these
Yeah.
things work in tandem, to do the AC. And it's basically there's a wire between the outside unit and this that was slightly exposed, and so that wire was touching something and then shorting out. So the AC would
Oh shit.
like start and then it would just like cut off because basically electricity would hit ground, and so as a fail safe it just shuts off. And so it was basically
Okay.
like a tiny nick in a wire randomly, and he was able to find it, and luckily he was able to fix it. So
Good
um
catch.
yeah, so shout out to Dow in Houston. He's the man. Cool.
All of
So,
this is a big ass
huh?
ad.
Oh, it's a big ass. I mean, it's that's my guy. I'm not gonna lie. But I want to just ask you just a couple, maybe just like one question actually, because we're running a long time. But um,
No, no problem.
I want to ask you, after your first full year, and you kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but I want to just kind of get it in one go. But after doing fantasy for your first year and now going into your second year, what do you feel like kind of you enjoyed? What did you maybe not enjoy, and what do you feel like you're gonna approach or differently going into this year?
So I like the easy thing for me to answer is that I really love the experience of like I like any group setting. I like meeting people. I like making friends, and then I like doing stuff with friends that involves like a lot of competition. Like talking shit back and forth, like fucking with each other. I think it's great. I think it's a lot of fun. That was probably my favorite part. Like even though a lot of you guys are like not my friends, like you guys are all really cool. So I get along with y'all well. It was a fun experience to mess around with you guys. But at the same time, what I think I could maybe find maybe like wasn't my favorite was that I really enjoy football. I really like watching football, but I feel like the way that I enjoy it is not very useful for fantasy because I enjoy watching football and I like to keep up with my team and like my second favorite team. I like to keep up with my team, what goes on my other team. But I could not tell you what goes on with most other organizations. Like I just could not. Like other franchise, other teams, like it just won't come to me. So knowing how other players are doing, like random players on other teams, just does not help me.
Hmm.
So when you or one of the other guys like gives me advice about a certain player, it's like I can take it in, but it doesn't really hit me the way that I would like it to, which would make it easier for me to make better plays. I think that would help my fantasy team. It's like, but but at the same time, like I'm not gonna pretend to know shit about random players like just to enjoy the fantasy league. You know what I mean? Like, but I'd like to. I'd like to. I just don't think it's
Yeah.
for me to like really know the ins and outs of like specific people on teams that I just do not care about.
Yeah.
Like I know what goes on with the Cowboys, I know what goes on with the Ravens. and then I know what goes on with the Texans because I live in Houston, and that's kind of it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Anything else is like I think it's cool. It's just it's never really sticks in my memory. That's probably the only thing I could think would go better this year for me. But other than that, like I'm just excited for the new fantasy season. I think it'll be fun. I want to see if like there's anything I can do better this time that maybe won't have me doing the Waffle House challenge. You know what I mean? Like, I something better out there I can do.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think, what I'll give you a couple advice, right? So one thing is when you are watching your teams play, um,
Yeah,
you're getting a chance to watch the other team as well. So that kind of forces you to see every other team, right? So, you
yeah,
know, I'm not sure how many I'm not sure how many. So I mean, you play your divisional opponents 3 times, and
yep,
then let's just say there's another 10 games, right? So there's 13 teams theoretically that you're seeing that are not your own team. And if you follow two
yeah.
teams, then you can, if you double that, then that's almost more than half
Point
the league
six.
that potentially you're watching. If you're watching every game of two teams that you follow, but that's one thing,
Pretty
right?
much.
So
Yeah,
just kind of pay attention to the game and the players on the other team. How are they performing? And then the other thing is just like every single week, you just check the like after the Sunday game is over, start just checking the waiver wire and see like what because in Sleeper when you go to that page for players, I don't know if you remember from last year, but there's a
I do.
page
I
for
remember.
trending. And if you look at the
Yes.
trending, it basically shows you in other leagues who are getting like who's getting picked up. And so every week, if you look at that, that's the players that are most everyone else is thinking are going to be doing well. And there's always people that are kind of, sleeper picks, and that's kind of what that's called that nobody saw coming, and you get it early, right?
Yeah.
Like I always like to bring up the example, like for last year for me is Bucky Irving, right? I kind of picked him up randomly. Jesse just dropped him because he wasn't doing much, and then he ended up like being one of the top running backs later that year.
Yeah.
And like that was just a coincidence, and I got lucky. Like I was probably picking between two, and I was just like, I'm not really sure. I'll pick up this one, and it ended up panning out. But every week, just check there and see who's trending really high, and then that's the one we're gonna pick. I don't know if you watched the episode with. Actually, no. I lied. This hasn't been covered yet, but there's one other thing that's coming up next year, and I'm just gonna have a teaser for it now. Because it hasn't actually been covered in an episode, but we're going to be doing Fab next year, which is a slightly different way of handling the waiver wire. So last year it was waivers, which basically every week you get like you have a waiver spot. So let's say like you're the fifth on the waiver, you can try to get a player, and if anyone above you doesn't pick them, then you get them, and then you go
Yeah.
down to the bottom, right? And then it resets. So everyone kind of gets a turn at being the top waiver, and then they can pick a player. Well, we're going to be switching to the fab system, which is basically instead of that, you get to auction for players. So it's kind of nice because everyone gets a chance at whoever they want as long as you're willing to spend the amount of money that you want. So you never get in a situation where you're kind of like, oh, I want to get this guy, but like I'm ninth on the waiver, so I know I'm not going to get him. It gives you
Yeah.
like a chance where if you want them, you can get them pretty much if you're willing to spend it. It's fake money. It's not real
So,
money.
oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. That was the next
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, no, that's fake money. But yeah, I'll
Okay.
go.
Cool.
I don't want to get into it now because that's like for another episode. But for you, I just wanted to tell you that that's another change that's coming next year. So you're
Yeah.
gonna have to get
That's a
used to
good thing.
that. But you may end up liking it more. So, but
I
yeah,
might. Yeah. I remember like not. It wasn't a bunch of times, but at least a few times I remember being low on the waiver kind of screwed me over. Like some player that I
mm,
was
yeah,
like even I know this guy's gonna do well, and then somebody else would get him. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. So with that, I'm gonna have to cut it off here, bro. And I gotta go
That's good,
make
bro.
dinner. But
You good,
I'm
bro?
glad having you on the episode. I love you, and
Love you too,
looking
man.
looking forward to this next year, and I'm hoping that you're not in last last place.
Bottom three. I won't. I won't. Not this time.
If you're in eighth
Gotta
or
be
ninth, that's
confident.
okay, but just don't get 10th. I'm rooting for you to not get 10th.
Not 10th.
Not
Anything but
10th.
10th.
All right, see you, bro.
I'm shooting for first. Later,
Of
bro.
course.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.